Basically, that was the word, survive.
Yeah.
Those that could survive, they keep doing BJJ.
Uh-huh.
But those that couldn't, they just quit.
Yeah. You guys, welcome to the latest episode of the Grappling Monthly Podcast. I'm very excited to be here at Brave, the Martial Arts Institute,
Yeah.
with Professor Rodrigo Alves. Professor, thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you. It's my pleasure, man.
Yeah,
You're
thank
very
you.
welcome.
We just finished an amazing class, really good training session,
Yeah, yeah.
good students, good vibes. So I'm feeling very, very relaxed, and great atmosphere. So thank you. And I'm excited to get to know you because outside of just taking a class with you just now, I haven't had the chance to meet you. So I'm always curious, to meet people and that have jiu-jitsu or grappling as like a central part of their lives.
yeah.
So I wonder if we could maybe start, and if I could ask you how you first started jiu-jitsu.
Oh, okay. That was back in 2002.
Okay.
So I started in my hometown. So I'm from Brazil. So I live in Brazil my whole life. And back in 2002, I started BJJ as a hobby, some like any export activity. So and as soon as I started BJJ, I was in love with the martial art.
Yeah.
You probably know that in Brazil, soccer is very popular. So I used to play soccer for many, many years in Brazil. But then I started BJJ. I was 17 years old. And like I say, back then when I started, I was in love I was never like a building muscle, never was a big guy, whatever. And BJJ for me was amazing. I carried BJJ my whole life, and I think the most important thing to say about that when I started BJJ, it was one of the few sports that I could realize that your body type doesn't matter much. So
Yeah.
any other sports, I even challenge you to find one. So basketball or swimming.
Yeah.
So your body time really matters. So but BJJ was not like that.
Nice.
And me, like I say, a small guy. So I started to understand that there was a lot of physics. There's a lot like leverage involved. So, and that was the main reason that made me really interested in the sport.
Yeah. And you said you're from Campinas, right?
Yes, Campinas.
Right outside of São Paulo.
Yeah, it's about an hour from São Paulo.
Nice.
It's really close, but I'm from Campinas, and I born there. I was raised there. I lived there my whole life, and I just left my hometown when I decided to move to Canada.
Okay. Did you go to São Paulo to train jiu-jitsu, or was it? Yeah.
Yes, many, many times my whole life since I started. So
Because there's a big community of jiu-jitsu in São Paulo.
oh yeah,
too.
huge. Like São Paulo is a big city. Yeah, we are talking about. I'm not fully sure like how many people, but I think something close when you include not just São Paulo, but the big São Paulo with like a little towns, like little cities around São Paulo. We are talking about approximately 22 million people.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
that's
basically
big.
half of Canada.
Totally.
So just one city, and not even talking about São Paulo state. So it's
Yeah.
a huge place.
Yeah.
It's the biggest city in Brazil, and most of the companies, most of the business start in São Paulo.
Yeah.
But in my city, in Campinas, and all the other cities on the country, we also have BJJ
Yeah.
every single place. Back then in 2002 when I started, but you probably imagine now. So it
Yeah.
became popular, and even more popular.
I'm always curious, like, because people talk about Rio de Janeiro, right? And
Yeah.
like the Gracie family and all these things. Was there like a competition between cities? Like when you would go, like between others, maybe like the same school in different cities, or different schools, different cities?
Yes, absolutely. So these are especially back there. So when BJJ became very popular in Brazil, I'm talking about 20, 30 years ago. So when BJJ really started in Brazil, so it of course was in Rio de Janeiro with the Gracie family. So all of us, we are very proud of the history. But something that people sometimes they don't know much. BJJ started with the Gracie family. But then it started to go to other gyms. So we have the Gracie Barra that is really popular, and then we have Renzo Gracie, and then we have the Alliance that we are affiliated. We have Zenit BJJ. We have so many other schools. But what is interesting to understand everyone came from the same source,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
from
yeah.
the Carlos Gracie Jr., so the
Mm-hmm.
Helio Gracie, so all those guys back in the years, the family, it helps a lot to develop the BJJ because when the traditional jiu-jitsu was implemented in Brazil, so the Gracie family was responsible for that,
Yeah.
and then BJJ became so popular. But you're right, back in the years, it was very, I can use this word, savage,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you're training in the gym, so and a guy training another gym.
Yeah.
It was not like today, where
No,
you see
yeah.
people coming from other gyms and training. No, it was, I forgot the word, like, it's really,
Porrada, né?
yeah, yeah, porrada,
I think
yeah.
that's the word that
Yeah, I think
everybody
that's the
knows now.
yeah, I think that's the best word to describe, porrada.
Yeah.
So people
Sorry.
people was
It's impolite
yeah,
word, but yeah,
people
yeah,
were like that,
yeah.
And I don't think it was just that. I think another thing really important to say when I started BJJ, for example, for me it took me 11 years to be graduated as a black belt.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I was training basically every day,
Nice.
I never took a break. In these days now, you could have a black belt a lot sooner than that.
Mm-hmm.
But this is because of the methodology. Another thing
Yeah,
that we don't have back in the years,
yeah.
So the methodology improves so much. So, like on the past, basically you just go in the gym. If you're a beginner, the coach, the professor, the sensei just look at you and say, okay, you want to train? Okay, just go there. And then you have to literally open the gate, put you with a lion and close the gate, and then you have
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
survive.
Yeah.
Basically, that was the word, survive.
Yeah.
Those that could survive, they keep doing BJJ.
Uh-huh.
But those that couldn't, they just quit.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
the retention of students were very different. So
That's
the
interesting.
methodology were different. So now I think we're living a completely different new era of
Yeah.
BJJ, where people they really need to they really know what they need to do to move to the next step,
Nice.
and the methodology improves so much.
Nice. No, that's really cool. I think like I've had the privilege to speak to a few Brazilians that have moved to Canada, that moved to the U.S. and from around the same generation as you, I think, and it's very much the same experience, even from different parts in Brazil. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't necessarily for everyone back then, but now probably a lot more. Jiu-jitsu for all kind of like
Yes. Yes. Yes.
philosophy. But so I'm always interested too. You say methodology, and you mentioned you were an affiliate of Alliance,
Yeah.
right? And Alliance is very well known for like being very structured and like a very advanced methodology to teaching,
Yes.
right? Was
Yes.
that
It is.
something that like interested you? Like how did you get connected with Alliance?
Yeah, I actually didn't pick Alliance. That's a fun story because for me, the martial art was not just like when I started, like I say, it was not just like a business or something. I'm gonna pick this school or that. When I started, we didn't have methodology. We didn't have like this much. So I was stick with my master. So my
Yeah.
master is Adriano Pires, and he's from my hometown. So I started with him and I keep stick with him for my whole life. So
Nice.
he's still my master. He's the one that promote me. He's gonna give my fourth stripe in my black belt in April next year now,
Nice.
2027. And like I say, he's my master. I stick with him. So the funny story is when I start BJJ with him, he was not Alliance. He was from Gracie Barham.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
then when he decided to move and just change his flag, uh, I for me it was not even a question. So I have to follow him
Yeah.
because for me martial art there's this kind of culture, So it's your master, so I'm gonna follow him. For me, that is one of the most important parts in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's not just about coming to the gym, pay the membership, and expect that the coach is gonna teach you how to perform an armbar or perform triangles or whatever. There's this whole culture behind that I think is really important. So you probably noticed today when you came to train,
Yeah.
every single person when they want to step on the mats, they ask permission for
Yep.
whoever's teaching, if it's me or any other coach, When they need to step out, for example, for any reason, go to the change room or just leave in like the gym like a sooner 30 minutes, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't need to know the reason, but I only expect them to let me know, and I don't even to ask anymore. So now
Yeah.
I develop this kind of culture here that
Yeah.
every single one follows. When the brand new students they come, they see the advanced students, they kind of follow that.
Yeah,
So that's
100%.
why
Yeah.
the culture keeps growing and growing. So this is one of the most important things for me. So like I say, to answer your question, I didn't pick alliance. So my
Yeah.
master, luckily, he
Yeah.
became alliance, and I was stick with him since the beginning.
Cool.
So I have the opportunity to be, in my opinion, with one of the best teams in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
And the methodology is great. The way how we explain the techniques, everything. There's of course, you're gonna always see the difference between coaches.
Yeah.
Everyone has
Yeah.
their own recipe. Their own
100%. I
style.
like that recipe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but anyway, so it's pretty much a good methodology if they follow the curriculum.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very happy with that.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah. Culture is such a big thing, right? I think like you have different personalities and different ways of approaching having a martial arts school and
Yeah.
Brazilian jiu-jitsu, some, mixed martial arts, Muay Thai, other things, some just jiu-jitsu, some, every school is different. And I think it's interesting because you're developing the culture that you see that you grew up in, but with your recipe, as you say,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so then that also attracts people that are also looking for that.
Yes.
And then at this point, I think if you're somebody that's interested in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you should almost, I think, I don't know if you agree, um, take your time and kind of check out a few places at the beginning and then see, like, oh, this is a good culture. I feel comfortable here. I feel happy. I want to train here, or I didn't really like it. Maybe let me try somewhere else, So not everybody has that opportunity, but I think we're really lucky
Yeah.
now with so many people like yourself, for example, established school owners in North America that there's that option, right? That choice.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I strongly advise if someone, for example, is looking for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu classes, I strongly advise them to try to find a good place with a good environment. Especially for example, kids. Sometimes I can see some parents they force their kids to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
kids, the young guys, they don't want necessarily to do it. I think the most important, not only with BJJ, with any sport, when you're talking about kids or teenagers, so they need to develop their own desire for the sport.
Yeah, that's a good
So
point.
they need to practice that. So sometimes when you see parents, they want to force the kids or the teenagers to do it, but they're not super they're gonna be quitting,
Yeah. Yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
And I strongly advise people to that. Just go see the places you see. I think one of the most important things that we do here, we have a nice environment. So I always here on the mats reminding people that it's really important that we need to feel. I know that sounds like a cliche, but we need to feel as a family.
Yeah.
We need to be like a family. Because, for example, when I came here, was before COVID. So I had the opportunity to have the school during COVID.
Yeah.
I won't say had the opportunity. So,
What
but
a
anyway, so
challenge. Yeah.
but yeah, but I was here.
Yeah.
And when we closed the place with the shutdown, I remember we didn't have training partners. For any other sport was a little more. It was a little easier
Yeah.
because if you train boxing, for example,
For
all you
sure.
have to do is just hang a half bag at home in your
Yeah.
basement,
Yeah.
and you still can do your workout. It's not the same, but you still can do it.
For sure.
Running, you can just run on the street, whatever. But BJJ, it is impossible.
Yeah.
It is impossible. So it's some of the few sport that you need someone to play with you, to be there on the mat with you.
Yeah.
So because of that, after COVID, I started to emphasize even more to my students the importance of treating your training partners very well.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
you probably noticed in one of my announcements tonight. So
Yeah.
I was reminding them, hey
Yeah.
guys, if you have an armbar, for example, and if you feel that you really have that armbar, don't be the guy that's gonna teach the lesson to the guy. Hey, you should tap and like a crank the arm, whatever.
Yeah. Totally.
So you should just let go. You should jump to something else. Actually, that's a mindset that every student they need to have here, because this is not only for him; it's for you.
Yeah.
You're giving yourself the chance to develop your game. So when you're there in armbar, what else can you do from that position?
Yeah.
So you just let go, jump to something else.
100%. Yeah.
So it's a smarter way to train.
Nice.
So I think that's the thing that's the kind of place that you need looking for, when you see things like that people really care about you. You're not just a number.
Yeah.
I know some other gyms around, for example, they're really well known for for having fighters, which
Mm.
is really good. If you want to become a fighter, you need a gym like that you
Right.
go and porrada,
Yeah.
porrada, 24 hours, Uh, but I think you must have like a complement,
Yep.
you have the hard guys. You
Yeah.
have also the executive guys, for example, that they
For
work and
sure.
they come, they don't want to,
Have a black eye or
yeah,
something.
they don't have a
Yeah.
black eye,
Lose a
whatever,
tooth. Yeah.
And you have the guys that really want to just improve their techniques. Some
Mhm.
people they want to just like improve their shape, you know.
Yeah.
And that's when you see like this pattern, this pattern at the gym. So when you see, okay, that's the right place for you to be. So that's
Nice.
my advice,
Yeah.
always trying to find a place like that you feel welcome.
Nice. That's good advice. Very good advice.
Mhm.
Um, so, when did you actually start teaching? And was teaching something that came to you naturally, or is it something you had to develop over the course of time?
No, that's funny because my degree in university is something completely different,
Is
and
it?
yeah, I started with the chemistry. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, I started with
Okay.
chemistry
We
with
have a scientist. That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So I started, and I did like about 3 years, and I was about to finish my university, and then I decided to quit. My whole life doing BJJ,
Yeah.
and then I decided to do another university, so I did marketing,
Okay.
and then this one I conclude, and then I have a degree in marketing. But
Okay.
like I say, always working, studying, and training BJJ.
Yeah.
So it was in 2012 when I have this idea. I say, why not start to train? I remember I had a space that I was lifting weights, and then I just identify a possibility. Okay, maybe we need to have BJJ here. There's so many guys,
Yeah.
And then I start with the idea. So it was a small place. I just like bring a few guys from the lifting weight area. Hey,
Yeah.
you wanna try BJJ? You wanna try? That's when I started to teach classes.
Nice.
So,
Cool.
but because it did so well, so I remember in the first month I have 2 3 guys. After that 17 30 50 people in
Really?
the second
Wow.
month. So
Okay.
it became very popular. Then I think that's when I start to something click on my mind.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had a different business. I have a company. So I say no. I think I'm gonna decide to quit everything and dedicate my time, really put some effort on that because
Very
I
cool.
really believe on that. So that's when I started to teach classes. I teach classes. I was teaching classes in Brazil for about 2 years
Okay.
until 2014, and then I stopped and I started to create my business plan. I was about to open the gym in Brazil,
Nice.
but then I just made a trip just to for the first time in Canada, just to see Canada.
Okay. Okay.
And luckily, I came to this place and I met a guy here. He was an MMA fighter,
Mhm.
retired from Ottawa here, and he had a club, a small club, but it was a nice club. And I just came and I, 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 I taught some lessons for him,
Mhm. Mhm.
and he was in shock. He was, oh my God, so I really like your style. You have to stay here. I don't have many students, but to grow the place, I think you're the right fit here. So was a very nice guy. At the same time, one of his students,
Mhm.
it was my business partner that I have
Okay.
business partner in this place here right now. So
Uh-huh.
my business partner was his student. So anyway, short story. I just back to Brazil and I talked to my business partner. So he kind of convinced me, say, hey, why not? You're about to open the school. Why not open in Canada?
Wow. Nice.
I say, okay, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So I came and I started to work with my business partner, and then we decided to buy this guy gym. So
Nice.
we bought a place, but that was in 2019, literally
Oh man.
3 months
Oh
before
man.
COVID. So we bought a place, and then we're so excited, yeah.
Yeah.
So we have like I think it was close to 70 students, but then it drops to 50, whatever. So I remember when we very start the place, we have 50 students, and that it lasts 3 months, literally 3 months, because after 3 months, COVID
Yeah.
hit,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then we were forced to close the
Yeah.
business.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was a very tough situation because I just moved to Canada, and my business partner and I. So what you're gonna do now?
Yeah.
And like I say, I'm very lucky for having him, not just a business partner, as a big friend. And he was very smart. So he decided to do a very smart move. He talked to me and say, what do you think about instead of close and wait this bad wave,
Mhm.
what about if we do the opposite? All the other schools they were closing. And
Mhm.
he said, what about if you expand? If you go to a bigger place?
Okay.
So we stayed closed for about 4 months. Yeah.
Okay.
So during these 4 months, what we did, we didn't receive one single penny from students.
Yeah.
We just put all the memberships on hold.
Mm.
And during 4 months, we moved to this place here.
Oh wow. Okay.
So, but here was not like that.
Uh-huh.
So we need to do all the demolition first,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then the renovation. So we did by ourselves
Oh,
with
wow.
our hands.
Okay.
So we came here for 4 months. We were working every single day, like construction guys. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
we did
yeah.
everything that you can see here:
Yeah.
the walls, the floor, the epoxy floor on the front, everything
way.
we did by ourselves.
Wow.
So this was a strategy for us to save some money
Yeah.
because I knew that I was in a new culture, everything. So how come I could afford to live
Yeah.
here so without receiving money? So we put all those expenses, through the company so I could make some money to survive. And then after that, we just opened the gym.
Nice.
And it was beautiful. So the numbers started to grow.
Very cool.
I think in like after 2, maybe 3 years, we hit 285 students.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
it was a big,
congratulations.
yeah, it was a big number. It was a big celebration. And then since then we're here. So
Nice,
now
yeah.
7 years after, we're still here,
I
very
can't believe
strong.
it's already been 7 years. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Time goes by so quickly.
No, no, no. Yeah, I sometimes I don't believe too.
Yeah.
It's really fast.
Very cool.
And we start with just a few students. No, so now I have a lot of graduate students. I made my first world champion. Like
Hey,
I
nice.
think it was last year, 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. One of my brown belts. He was world champion. So I have also a purple belt that won European IBJJF, Pan IBJJF, and then second place on the world. So the team is growing.
Yeah.
I can feel that. I have a lot of other blue belts, purple belts, guys that are really tough.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And like I say, a huge community here. So that's the most important. We have a nice place. We built something really special. Everyone that comes here, they always say that.
Very
So
cool, yeah.
you have something special here.
Yeah, yeah,
If you ask me why, I'm gonna say I think I'm just lucky. So it's a bunch of things.
Yeah.
One of that is the culture for sure that we could implement here. But I'm very happy with the guys.
Very cool, yeah. Way to yeah, very strategic decision to lean in and to expand during a
Yeah.
time where everything else was closing. Yeah, it's very cool. I wonder, because I'm always interested in stories of people that arrive to a new place and set up and make a living in a country where they weren't born, right? So and it's funny because now I'm living that in the U.S. Like I'm from here, but now I
Yeah.
live there. But I'm curious, coming from Brazil, apart from COVID, because you came at a very strange time,
Yeah.
right? But apart from COVID, what was the thing that was the most different for you here about here in Canada?
I cannot say nothing different than the code, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
of course, yeah.
The code is something like out of normal for sure. Before I came to Canada, I had the opportunity to travel a couple times, and I was in New York. I was in on the northern extreme west, on the west as well. So San Francisco, Los Angeles. I remember we made a trip once. Reno,
Yeah.
Vacaville,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Lake
Nice.
Tahoe.
Yeah, it's
So
beautiful out there,
it's
yeah.
beautiful. And I remember in Lake Tahoe was the coldest weather for me. Lake Tahoe was -11, and I remember on that day I said, "Oh my God, now I know what cold is." And then
And
I
then you moved to
remember
Ottawa.
I always I was always using Lake Tahoe as a reference to
Yeah.
tell my friends and my family about the cold. Oh, you guys don't believe -11? It's crazy. It's brutal.
Yeah.
You need to understand what I'm saying. So what we have here is not cold. Anyway, so then when I came to Canada and I could experience the winter here,
Yeah.
it's something that I say, no,
Yeah,
that's not cold.
it's another level, brother.
It's another level. So I think one thing that's really interesting to say in Canada, the culture here for people, it's really different. So here you work and you receive money. So any part of the planet is like that. But there's something different here. Here is about the hours, not about what you do necessarily. So
Interesting. Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
about the hours. So
Yeah.
for example, in Brazil, many people, they used to have a guy to take care about your pool,
Yeah.
a guy to cut your grass, a lady that like a housekeeper, like a take care about the house, whatever.
Yeah.
Some people they have babysitter, whatever.
Yeah.
So we're talking about 4 or 5 different people that working for you in your house,
Yeah.
and people still can afford.
Yeah.
So in Canada, the same family that used to afford in Brazil, very difficult to afford
Oh,
here,
100%.
because here it's not about the job that you're doing, you know.
Yeah.
So it's that you're doing.
Yeah.
So that's why I noticed that here I have to work a lot more.
Yeah.
So in my house, for example, I had to shovel the driveway.
Yeah, totally.
So
Yeah.
those things are, I think, the most different things for me
Yeah.
when I came here. It's not just the fact that I have snow in my driveway.
Yeah,
It's the fact that I have to go there and do
Totally.
it, you know, and cut the grass during the summer. You work a lot more. And for me, for example, teaching classes all day long at the gym, so my
Yeah.
back hurts.
Very
when I
physical,
get
yeah.
when I got home,
Yeah.
there's no break.
Oh, man.
I go to eat. I have to go outside sometimes 11 p.m., almost midnight.
Yeah.
I'm going to shovel the snow. And I know that the weather is telling me, oh, so you're going to have a lot of snow, 10 centimeters, whatever, over the night.
Yeah.
I know that I'm going to wake up
Totally.
earlier
Yeah.
to shovel the snow, you know?
So I when my wife and I invested and we got a house, we were very fortunate to also, as like part of this whole deal, we got a snowblower. It was the first time I ever had a snowblower, and boy, was it a like game changer.
Game changer.
Because then now all of a sudden, yeah, you have to push it. And
No,
sometimes you got to pull so the motor doesn't start, and like, but once you get it going, oh, it's such a good feeling, right?
It's such a
you
good
just,
feeling.
yeah.
You know, it helps a lot. It helps a lot. There's a lot of strategies that you have to start to learn, you know,
Yeah.
when you come to Canada, because as a newcomer, so I consider as a beginner a white belt in Canada, you know, like
Yeah.
I consider a white belt because I didn't know nothing about the snow, you know, and then you have to learn everything. But the biggest challenge for me, I think, was not just the snow. I think was everything. I don't know if you know, but I briefly mentioned to you when I came to Canada in 2019, I didn't speak English.
Yeah, which is hard to believe because your English is really
Yeah,
good, bro.
but trust me, believe me, I didn't speak English. I have the basic, you know.
Okay.
So when I say basic, it's really basic.
Yeah.
And I never like took any English classes,
That's impressive.
English course, nothing. It was literally teaching classes,
Nice.
the immersion here all the time with the students. And I'm not only proud of that, but when I say the language was a barrier for me for dealing with other stuff. For example, imagine me coming from Brazil. Now I have to deal with insurance.
Yeah.
I remember in 2019, I didn't have English. I called, and I don't know how lucky I was because was a person that speaks Spanish.
Okay.
And I could have insurance for my car, you know.
Nice. Yeah.
And then you have to learn that in Canada, it's also insurance for your house.
Yeah.
So I have to relearn everything, you know.
Yeah, for
So car, the
interesting,
documents for car, everything, you know.
Yeah.
So it's really different and in another language.
Yeah.
It's not just different culture, but in a different language. So
yeah.
that was the biggest challenge for me. Deal with all the policy and proceeds for the gym, for example. I was developing everything in another language, you know.
Yeah.
So dealing with clients at the front desk, answer the phone, selling memberships, all those things, I think they were very, very challenging. It kind of like made me embarrassed in the beginning, you know. But I'm not this. I don't care much, you know. So it is what it is, you know. So
I like that you say white belt because the Professor Cobrin is very well known for talking about the white belt mentality.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think it's a very healthy approach to new challenges, you know.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that new challenge. I think the new challenge, they always boost you in something, you know. For example, one of the things that I'll tell my students, there's no improvement in your comfort zone. If you are in your comfort, there's no improvement. You can try to find. There's never improvement when you're in your comfort zone. You need to get out from your comfort zone to do something extraordinary, for example, you know? So I always looking for things like that in my life. So when I started BJJ, I was in love because of that too. So BJJ is a martial art that gives you, it helps you to solve problems. It's known by that, everybody knows that. But I think the most important to say is the tools. So when you are under a guy with like 200 pounds, whatever, 250, 100, on top of you and you can't breathe, some people, they panic, you know. You need to have the ability to feel comfort on that situation. So then you can think about and get out. Because think about what's going to make you escape from that situation.
You gotta be calm. Yeah.
It's just be calm.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's going to make you escape is technique.
Yeah.
So if you're not calm to rely on technique,
Totally.
so you're not going to escape.
Yeah.
Some people, they panic and they forget to rely on the only thing that they're going to make them get out, the technique.
Yeah.
So that's why I think that in a very important tool that BJJ provides you, that you're going to learn how to solve problems.
Yeah.
You know?
I think you just made me realize another reason why so many people that do BJJ also surf. You know, because if you panic against the ocean, there's nothing you can do. It's
There's
finished,
nothing you can
right?
do.
You just got to be calm and like ride the wave and all these things.
And I'm a big fan of this kind of like a philosophy. Always put yourself in situations that you're gonna feel like a white belt. So when I came to Canada, like I said, just going back to the winter's brutal here.
Yeah.
If you don't find a way to enjoy winter, you're gonna be depressed.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're gonna do, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, you need to understand. So, but for us, it was very cold.
Yeah.
I don't want to go outside. And then I say, okay, what else can I do? And I just find out that hockey, it's very popular.
You play hockey?
So I started, you know,
shit.
I started to play
Okay.
hockey a year ago.
Very cool.
And man, it was one of the most difficult things for me.
Yeah, I
I
bet.
started to play hockey, you know. I never skate like in my life, you know, on the ice. But I did very well.
Watch out for the black belt on the ice, bro.
Yeah. I remember the guys in the chair, they see my ears, you know.
Yeah,
They, "Oh, you do
exactly.
martial arts."
Maybe I don't
Yeah,
body
yeah.
check this guy. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I was kind of missing this feeling. Every
Yeah.
day I come here and I'm the boss.
Yeah.
I'm the black belt,
Yeah.
3 stripes, whatever.
Uh-huh.
So when I'm there,
Yeah.
I'm the worst.
Yeah,
You know, I was missing this feeling.
That's cool.
I think this is something really important
Yeah.
in everyone's life. You need to feel that
Nice.
because this, like I say, is out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So this is make you improve. You
Nice.
know, and things like that. I started to play hockey. You know, just to have this feeling.
Very cool.
And well, again, man. So BJJ is what I'm planning to do forever. and
Yeah.
not quitting.
I love it. I love it. I did not expect the conversation was going to go towards hockey. I got to be honest with you. But
We're in Canada.
yeah,
man.
absolutely, absolutely. Very cool. So I got to ask, like, if when you started teaching, apart from the language barrier here in Canada, was it like, did you feel like because you're on the mats, you're at home, or was it very similar? Was it very different? Did you have to change how you were teaching, apart from the language, like of course the language, but like,
Yeah.
you know, did you have to change your approach when you came to Canada to teach and grow the school, or was it actually very similar for you?
I think the approach didn't change much. It was similar, but of course the language was a barrier, like you mentioned. But I believe one thing that's really important to also tell you. I remember when I started to teach classes, people they see me differently than people in Brazil, for example. Because when you're training, when you're
Interesting,
teaching in Brazil, we have so many people doing BJJ, we have so many black belts, you
Yeah,
know. It's just one more.
Yeah.
So in here, I felt that was different. So the respect that the students they had, the admiration
Yeah,
that
yeah,
they
yeah.
have too, you know. So I was the guy that was here straight from Brazil, offering a legit program for them, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
this
yeah.
guy is legit. He's from Brazil.
Yeah.
He knows what he's talking about. And I was teaching class in Brazil, so my students they always respect me there. They had, but it's still different. You know? Maybe you say, okay, why? Explain me why is different. For example, when I came, I remember in the very first day, I was not having my gym. I came to teach classes for that guy, the first guy that
Yeah.
had a gym. So when I went there to teach classes for him, I remember he kind of started to talk to people, you know, hey, there's a guy coming. So when I was there, I was not expecting to people receive me that way. So
Yeah.
they came with, I remember it was during the winter. So they came with winter socks. Hey, coach, nice to meet you. So you're going to need this. I said, oh, thank you, man.
Really? Yeah.
Another guy, I remember
Nice.
we were
That's
leaving,
cool.
say, hey, are you going outside? You don't have a winter hat? I say, no, man, I didn't have.
Gotta have a hat.
He
yeah.
literally removed it, say, hey,
that's
take this
good,
one.
yeah.
I say, man, that's yours. No, take, I have many at home.
There you go. Yeah, yeah.
You know, so
yeah.
these kind of like I don't know how to describe, like a warmer place,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Say
Yeah.
they really make me feel at home,
Very
you
cool.
know.
I'm glad to hear that.
And this was amazing. This
Yeah.
was amazing. I don't know if it was just lucky to be in Ottawa, if
Hmm.
every single place is like that, because I didn't have chance
Yeah.
to know other places. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it was great. It was
Very cool.
fantastic to see that people was receiving it like that.
Yeah.
And that was a huge difference. So when I was teaching classes,
Nice.
I could see the students, they were very interested. They
Yeah.
were like paying attention to every single word,
Hmm. Hmm.
and that made me feel even more welcome and having even more desire to create some roots here and stay here.
Super cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a great story. For those of you like are people in Brazil or maybe like in the warmer parts of the U.S., you need that hat in the
Oh
winter, right?
yeah,
Because you
now I know.
no, no,
Now I know.
that's the number one way to get to get cold. But oh, that's very cool. I feel like very happy that that was your experience in as a newcomer to Canada because
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it could be a lot.
yeah.
But jiu-jitsu is like a universal language, right? Also, like once like we, for example, we didn't know each other before today, but we share this passion for jiu-jitsu. So we have I already know we have something in common, and I was lucky. I've been to Brazil, so I can share that experience a little bit with you. But it's still on the mat. We have this in common, and I think that's really really wonderful because you can go anywhere in the world,
Yes.
and now I think maybe every country has jiu-jitsu. I don't know, but like most countries
Oh
have
yeah.
a lot of jiu-jitsu now.
Most countries, yeah, you were
Yeah.
right. And interesting thing about what you're saying about the universal language, what I really like in BJJ is that it's something that you can't pretend, you can fake. For
Yeah.
example, a guy that just wear a black belt and
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
black belt.
Yeah.
Maybe the guy just bought Amazon and he put a black belt. So there's no way.
That's a
There's no way.
terrible idea.
There's no way
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Yeah.
anywhere in the world that you show up to train
Hmm.
wearing a black belt or any other belt, so you can you can rely in some lies or in
Yeah.
some muscle or bodybuilding. No, you need
Yeah.
to show. You're
Totally.
gonna roll,
Yeah.
and the guys are gonna know.
For sure.
So that's
Absolutely.
why when you say universal language, I think it's very like a true what you're saying, and people can feel that.
Yeah.
People can feel that, and every time when you go, we often travel for tournaments. I bring students to Las Vegas, to the Master Worlds, to
Nice.
Penn, to European. We are in Paris. So every time we go, we try to find a gym. So
Yeah.
we do a little camp,
Nice.
and then when you train, we can have people that doesn't speak the same language as you, but it just goes. It just
Yeah.
goes. They train,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
know what they need to do before start the match. They know what they need to do after the match.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
and and there's something really cool that I like in BJJ. You don't need to talk to the guy necessarily. You can literally fight with a guy that doesn't speak your language,
Yeah.
and if you are in a bad spot,
Yeah.
if your arms like that,
Yeah.
if you do this, he's
That's
gonna
it.
stop.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
that's I think the most beautiful. You can really trust in the person. You're
Yeah. Yeah.
trusting
Yeah.
your body, your life. So
100%.
he does a choke. You do this. There's no chance that you do this and the guy doesn't understand what that
No.
means.
Exactly.
He's
Yeah.
gonna understand.
Yeah.
So and this allows you to go in any place in the world to train.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I think this is the most cool thing in BJJ.
Yeah, absolutely. I noticed something when I walked in the door. You have a saying that I'd heard before, but you see it right when you walk in, and it says, "Leave your ego at the door."
Yes.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about that. Like,
Yeah, so that's a vinyl that I decide to put there right on the door. Leave your ego at the door. The reason why is because, especially here in Canada, I noticed that it's different than US. In US, people know a lot about BJJ. Yeah, they know a lot more than in Canada. In Canada, I receive a lot of customers, a lot of clients that, hey, I want to train. What do you offer? I offer Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. What is that? Sometimes I have to spend some time explaining
yeah,
what BJJ is.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And I'm afraid sometimes that some clients, they new students, they come, and just because they're building muscle, they're gonna believe that they can handle any situation,
yeah.
especially, for example, with my young student, 17 years old.
Totally. Yeah.
Sometimes I didn't tell nothing. So I just put the guys to roll, for example, and he's really excited. Now, I want to try. Okay, I want to try. Come here. Okay, go. And then he sees that little skinny,
Yeah.
17 years
Yeah,
old,
yeah, yeah.
can control his whole body, you know. Some people, they never come back
Yeah.
because their ego don't allow them to come back. So that's why I think that's the most important message that the new students, when they come, they walk through the door, they need to understand.
Yeah.
It's not about ego. So if you just go right away, you don't have technique, you're gonna suffer. So
Yeah.
someone is gonna dominate you.
For
It's a
sure.
fact, you know. They
Yeah.
need to understand that. And after that, things becomes easier. So they're gonna see and they go, okay, everyone does that. So they're not gonna be ashamed of tapping, you
Yeah.
know, because everyone here shares the same goal, you know,
Yeah.
learning. Even me, I'm black belt. I learn every day.
Yeah.
I keep my mind sharp for that, you know. My
Nice.
mindset is that improve even 1% every day. So that's what I need to do.
Yeah.
And the reason why I think we have like such a nice place is because that the environment is good. So people, they share the same culture, you know, always like that. If you're in a bad spot, just tap, move on, you
Yeah,
know.
totally.
If you want to prove something, that's why we always bring students to tournaments all the time, local tournaments, in different places, whatever. Because if you need to prove something, the tournament is the place for that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was interesting today. You had like a big class. You had students of all different levels, and you gave different things for different people at different levels,
Yeah.
right? Tell me a little bit about your approach. Like when you have a group like this and you have people so many different skill levels,
Yeah.
like how do you approach that as a
Yeah,
teacher?
so that's one of the classes that it's for all levels, yeah. So when I have classes like that for all levels, what I usually do in my teaching, I start with one technique that's really basic. So what that means, every single one can benefit from that technique. So the beginners, of course, they're gonna see that technique and they're gonna train the technique as the first time, for example.
Yeah.
And very probably because the first time, they're gonna be stick with technique for the whole night. So the intermediate and advanced students, they're gonna use that technique just to practice again, or sometimes just use as a warm up, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then they're gonna jump to the next technique, a little more complex, that
Nice.
involve a little more details, you know. So those techniques are gonna be probably for the intermediate students, you know. And those guys are gonna train and benefit for that. The graduate guys, the advanced guys, they also can do that. And then I always show something a little more complex. The last technique today
Yeah.
was like leg locks, calf
Yeah.
slides, toe hold, whatever.
Totally.
Something specific only for brown and black belts. So those techniques, only the advanced students are going to practice. The other guys are going to be stick with the other. So that
Cool.
way, when people they come, let's say they only have that time to attend, you don't have to keep stick only with 2 days a week, for example, in the
Yeah.
beginners class. They can literally come every day for that class, for example. They
Nice.
always have something to improve on that class, you know.
Yeah.
So the improvement is a little faster that way.
Very cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It really felt like there was something for everybody,
Yes,
right? Which
always.
is a delicate balance sometimes, right? When you
Yeah.
have this group with a wide skill set or different
Yeah.
sets of experience. So I thought that was really cool. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, man.
Yeah. Um, I always like to ask, like, for people who are considering maybe trying Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, we've already talked about a couple things that are like, like leave your ego at the door, for example, is very good advice. But do you have any other suggestions? Or maybe somebody's a little bit older, they think, maybe I'm too old or this and that, blah, blah, blah. What suggestions would you have to say to somebody who's interested, but they're maybe not sure about stepping in the gym?
So I believe that BJJ, I'm suspect to say because that's my passion. That's what
Yeah.
I have been doing for like over than 20 years, you know, more than 20 years. And so BJJ is a very powerful tool that can helps you to improve yourself, not only as a fighter.
Yeah.
I always say that to my students. Helps you to improve you as a fighter, as a person as well, for those reasons. So when you put yourself out of your comfort zone, you're going to start to improve in different areas in your life. For example, when you train BJJ, people think that they're just learning some self-defense, okay? But no, the fact that you're there training, solving problems, when you translate these for a corporation, for example, for your company, for
Yeah.
your work, so you're gonna be a better person in solving problems, in
Yeah,
general.
absolutely.
So when you're training, you socialize here in BJJ, so you're gonna start to speak with people often, and more often. Let's say, for example, I have so many students, they were so shy
Yeah.
that it's kind of like even a weird sometimes. No, I've never talked to no one, But then you start to see their behavior changing
Yeah.
over the months, the past months, and then the years. And then, so when you translate this to life, so let's say this kid has to do a presentation in school or
Yeah.
university. He
Absolutely.
needs to talk to like hundreds of people.
Yeah.
It's gonna be different.
Yeah.
So that for this reason, I don't think there's a specific age, you
Mm.
know. So people they can improve in their lives, in their careers, in their lives in general, in at any age,
Very
you
cool.
know.
Yeah.
So, but because of that, it's really important that you find the right place, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's really important. So people need to try different gyms, not just one, two, three different gyms, so they can start to see the vibe of the place, you know. If they have a good atmosphere, so that's the place that I want to be part of. I want to
Nice.
belong to this place. So then you go.
Yeah.
So because I can assure that the benefits that BJJ can bring to your life to any person, it's huge.
Very
It's
cool.
really big.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, I agree.
Yeah, I know that.
Very cool. I think we're approaching the lightning round now. The short questions. You know, I always like to ask
Okay.
just for fun, short questions. Some jiu-jitsu related, some not. For example, coffee or tea?
I think tea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. All right. All right. Very cool. Favorite cheat meal, like if you can, no matter the calories, doesn't matter. Favorite meal.
Favorite meal? I think meat, red meat for me.
Red meat? Yeah.
Yeah, red
Okay.
meat is like
Very good.
I think like in Argentina is very popular, you know, but
Yeah.
Brazil too. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we
Yeah.
are a big fan of
Churrasco.
barbecue, churrasco, you know, churrasco. So I think red meat for me
Very
is the
good.
number one for sure.
There you go. Favorite submission.
Favorite submission? Armbar.
Armbar.
Yeah,
Nice.
armbar for me, it's not just like one of my specialties, but I have like a short legs,
Uh-huh.
short arms, you
Okay.
know. I think the leverage is really good for me,
There we
so
go. Yeah.
I really enjoy armbar.
Very cool. Favorite competition to watch as a spectator? Jiu-jitsu competition.
I think right now, because of my age, I think it's definitely the competition it's happening every year in Las Vegas, the World Masters.
Oh, the World Masters. It's coming up
Yes,
soon.
it's
Yeah.
coming up soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm planning to be there.
Yeah. I'll
Yeah,
see you
yeah.
there. All
Okay,
right.
that's great. And
But not in the competition.
that's good.
I don't want to compete with you.
Okay, but I think like it's the Masters because of
Yeah.
the not only the teammates. You know, I know a
Uh-huh.
lot of people that are going to be there competing. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and my generation of the sport, you know,
Yeah.
the guys are moving, and it's funny to see how the level of these guys it's very comparable with the adults, which is the
Uh-huh.
professional category, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's really, really like really close.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. What is your favorite like? So that was as a spectator, but if you had to compete, what's the rule set that you choose?
The rule set, it's kind of funny because I wish one day to compete the ADCC rules. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't compete any tournament like that. It's it's a little dangerous, I think, for the coaches, you know, because since you allow like a heel hooks, everything, so us as a masters,
Slams and
yeah,
things like
we
that.
always
Yeah.
say, okay, so I have to take care about the program. It's not time, and
Yeah.
you just like push one more year.
Ah, I see.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that's why I never explore and I put myself in a situation like that. But I wish one day.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Maybe one day I'm gonna participate in one of these competitions just because the rule sets are different. You know,
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm very curious to see how it looks like.
Nice. What's a country that you haven't yet visited that you'd like to go to?
Oh, so many, man. I can do
Yeah.
a big list for you. So I travel like a lot. I know like just a few places, but not that much, you know. I think one is specific that I really want to go one day, especially because it brings all the BJJ culture as well. It's become very popular. It's like Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
So Abu
Yeah.
Dhabi,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's known for. I know many friends that have been there, and it's one of the places that I really want to know one day
Cool.
to check it out, to see the engineer, you know, the culture as well. So it's a place that I'm gonna be there soon.
Very cool. Very cool. And last question for anybody who maybe is going to travel to Campinas, what is the number one thing that they should do or see or
They
eat?
they need to go and train with my master.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. There you go.
This is 100% sure. So
Very
you can
cool.
go in any place in Brazil, but you can't miss the opportunity to train with my master Adriano on his gym. So with my teammates, I have been there like 2 weeks ago, I just came. 1 week ago, I came back
Nice.
from Brazil. I was there for more than a month. I was training my teammates with my master, sharpening my game, and I can tell he's he's different.
Yeah.
My master is gonna be my master forever. And I'm suspect to say, like I say, but it's not just the passion that I have for his way of teaching classes, also the love for my teammates that I'm training my whole life. Almost 20 years training with them.
Nice.
But it's definitely a place that you have to check it out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's huge. It's
Nice.
really big, like almost like the same size the mats here.
Cool.
It's
Yeah.
huge, the space, and they have like so many good fighters. So just so you know, the average of black belts sometimes easy 30, 40 black belts
Yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah.
mats at the same time.
Nice.
And he has like how many classes? I think like 8 or 9 classes every day, something like that.
Very cool. Very cool.
So it's amazing.
Nice. So if somebody is in Ottawa and they're interested to come visit and train, where do we find you? How do we contact you? How do we train at
Yeah,
Brave?
they can literally just type on Google,
Huh?
like a Brave Martial Arts or Martial Arts Ottawa. So we're there, one of the first ones. And he can also just take a look on our website. It's a Brave MAI, the abbreviation for Martial Arts Institute Brave, MAI.com.
Nice.
We also have the Instagram, same thing. And yeah, they can come. They're more than welcome to come for a free trial. We have the free trial here.
Very
They
cool.
can come, check out the place. And something that is really important for us, as you can see, is the cleaning. So
Yeah.
cleaning is something as a
This place is
it's
like
yeah.
pristine.
We really do a nice job about that. So all the
Nice.
staff that I have here. So I'm very lucky to have my people here that are helping with that. The instructors, not just my business partner, that's phenomenal, but my 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 staff too. So
Yeah.
they are great. I'm really lucky that I can count these people. Like I say, I just mentioned I was in Brazil for about 45 days, a long period, and
Yeah.
the gym was running smoothly,
Very
so
cool.
very smooth. The guys they were doing a great job. I'm very happy with that. And like I say, any student that wanna come visit there in Ottawa, so just please stop by. They won't regret. So we have a nice place,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very
and
cool.
very welcome.
Guys, I highly recommend. Great environment, great training session, and yeah, Professor, thank you so much.
No,
I
thank you, my
appreciate
friend.
you.
My pleasure.
This was
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. You can come. You're more than welcome to come
Yes,
as
sir.
many times as you want, and the doors are going to be always open for you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right?
Os.
Us.